Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Mac Story.
All right, welcome to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. Today we're on part 14 of 17 in this series on managing people versus leading people. Again, if you've been listening to the series, you already know we're talking about the mindset of someone called a manager of people versus the mindset of someone called a leader of people. If you read a lot of leadership books or you start reading a lot of leadership books, you're going to hear people talk about manager versus leader, all this kind of stuff, like managing is a bad thing. Managing people is a bad thing. Leading people is the goal, not managing people. We should manage things and processes. We must manage things and processes, but we should lead people. And that's what this series has been all about. This 17-part series is about helping you just look at the difference in the mindset, the way a manager of people thinks and the way a leader of people thinks. And if you haven't heard on some of the other episodes, you can download a chapter. I'm talking about this 17-part series comes from a chapter in my book, Defining Influence. Increasing your influence increases your options. So you can go download that at bluecollarleadership.com. Just go there to the top menu and go to programs. Go down to Defining Influence. Click there, and you'll see an opportunity to download a chapter. It's actually about a 20-page Word document chapter. A lot of information, far more than I'm sharing with you here on this series. But relative to the 17 parts of this series, I'm covering all that information that's in the book. I'm just adding more to it. But there's a lot more beyond that to the chapter as well. So you may want to go download that. Check that out. So today, we're going to focus on direction. Managers of people seek to travel on existing roads put in place by others. And actually, those others were leaders of people, not managers of people. Because managers of people seek what's comfortable and familiar. They're not blazing a new trail. They're not creating a new way of doing things. They're not focused on improving processes, growing and developing people. They're not looking for change. When it comes to direction, managers of people, they're looking for things to stay the same so they can stay comfortable, so they can go, do their 8 and hit the gate, so to speak. As my friend Amir Ganad says. Leaders, on the other hand, leaders of people, they seek to travel and explore new paths. They are the trailblazers. They seek growth outside their comfort zone. They're the reasons we have the world we live in today, and we're not still living in caves. Cavemen with a management mindset, they didn't move forward. They just maintained the status quo. It took the cavemen with a leader mindset. I guarantee you, whoever invented the wheel, they didn't have a management mindset. They had a leader's mindset. And that's a kind of a slightly humorous, funny, silly example maybe, but that's really the way it is. Leaders created this world that we live in. Managers did not. Managers try to maintain what leaders create. The leaders are still trying to move forward to the next level and beyond. High-impact leaders simply says no to the status quo. They expect others to do the same, especially if they're on their team. They're always looking for new ways to do things. And see, if you have a leader's mindset and you report to a manager, there's going to be a lot of conflict there. You're going to see things in a much different way than your boss, and it's going to create a lot of conflict. And that's why you need to read my book, Blue Collar Leadership, Leading from the Front Lines, and learn how to lead yourself well while you have a boss like that. Because you have a leader's mindset, but you're working with and for someone with a manager's mindset. There's going to be a lot of conflict. You already know that. So you're going to have to figure out how to lead yourself well in that environment. And while you're doing that, you're going to be learning how to lead yourself well in any environment, and you're going to create options. And you won't have to stay in that environment unless you choose to. But if you choose to, you're going to be able to do it without so much frustration because you're going to be doing it intentionally. So high impact leaders are always looking for new ways to do things, not for the sake of it being new, but for the sake of finding a better way. They know they don't have to be sick to get better. The team doesn't have to be sick to get better. The organization doesn't have to be sick to get better. The greatest athlete on this planet today in any given sport, they're out there today trying to get better. That's a leader's mindset. That's why they're at the top of their sport. They like a challenge. So high impact leaders often help foster an atmosphere of experimentation where everyone feels safe to try new things. Managers, they don't like trying new things, so they don't create an atmosphere where they encourage others to try new things. They encourage everyone to stay the same. A high impact leader knows when we try something new, if it doesn't work, we can always go back to the way it was and figure out another way to try to make it better. The key is to continuously be striving to get better. That's what high impact leaders do. That's the whole point. So Andy Stanley said this: leaders can't stand the status quo. They don't lay in bed and dream of how things are. They dream of how things could be. Managers, they lay in bed and worry that some leader somewhere is going to change something. They're afraid when they walk in the door, they're going to get asked to change something or participate in something that's going to create change. And I'm telling you, if you work somewhere, you better hope it's changing because your competition is changing. And if your organization doesn't change and get better, it's not going to be around very long. Leaders understand that. Those with a management mindset, they don't understand it so well. So hope you got a couple of takeaways there relative to direction. Managers want everything to stay the same, travel existing roads. Leaders of people, they want to explore new paths, be a trailblazer, and seek growth outside of their comfort zone. So hope you have a great day. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.